gathered here for the Knowledge Exchange Forum on a very current and intriguing topic, Reservation of Women's Bill, a corporate view.
Good evening, everybody. And of course, the topic is real hot when it comes to women. Before I came to this evening, I asked several men, leading men of the city, as to what do they think about women's reservation. So one of the leading industrialists said that, well, I don't think there should be reservation at all, because women are the one force in the country which still have high moral standards. And if they come to politics, then the poor things will get totally, contaminated with all the dirty politics that go on in the country. In the entire world, the women force in this public field is the largest in the world. Personally, I feel everywhere else, I think there should be no reservation, but particularly in politics, there should be a reservation because it's become absolutely scandalous and dirty. So women instead, what the industrialists said, I think it would help in cleansing up the system and doing more passionate work for the society.
That a progressive democracy, like in India, needs to ensure that liberty and equality are practiced in letter and spirit. That is what came in the letter. I mean, we've always had the equality. Like Indira Gandhi, she was the first lady to be the prime minister from wherever you want to say. She was a great woman. I mean, she wouldn't have been there if there was no equality, right? Yeah, will the reservation of seats for women in our legislatures ensure equality? All over the world, women are doing very well. Women have the capacity to bear all that. We have been bearing all that, and we have come out winners. I think there are women who do come out winners. Now, the reservation part. We had scheduled caste reservation, right? We found that in MBBS, and you have the science students and the engineering students, there too they've got reservations. What quality are we giving? What quality? Why should we have reservations so that the men can take advantage by putting their women, like she said, in the panchayat, the men were just having their own women over there and puppets. Why should that be? Let the women come up themselves. I don't believe in it.
You know, coming specifically on to topic about women's reservation, fundamentally any reservation is wrong. Because what you're doing is you are either allocating society's resources in an arbitrary way. Whoever makes the decision is making a decision on an arbitrary way. So that's fundamentally wrong. Especially in the fields of education, especially in the fields of leadership and all of those, you want the best talent to come to the top. If you want the right people to represent you in parliament, you want the right leaders to come there. And it doesn't matter whether it's a woman or a man. So fundamentally, any reservation goes against the basic principle of meritocracy. Let's bring in the whole angle of women's reservation, therefore, into this picture. Now, traditionally or culturally, let's put it this way, we have no business to treat our women like the way we are treating today. Honestly, it's a shame. I feel so ashamed at the way we treat our women in this nation. And that too, especially with a culture which is so rich, a culture which is so deep-rooted, a culture which respects women. And yet we have gone ahead and done all kinds of, I mean, you read the statistics. I don't even have to go into the details. I feel very, very ashamed at the way we have done it. Now, therefore, should women have reservation in politics? There are a few key points to keep in mind. Historically, there have been very few women in politics. I was just looking at some statistics up there, and today we have 10% of women MPs in the Lok Sabha and about 8% in the Rajya Sabha. Okay. So clearly the participation of women in politics is extremely low, and it has to be raised up. Now, is reservation the right way, or the current method of reservation the right way? We'll talk about it as a separate piece. So fundamentally, I'm against reservation. I am very much for women's reservation. I am completely against the current model which has been proposed by the government. And I'm happy to break it down threadbare and tell you what my objections are, but I'll leave it to the subsequent part
Good
of our
evening, and
discussion.
it's my pleasure to be here. Um, After 14 years of debate in Parliament, this bill is yet not passed. There's hardly any other country who has similar kind of reservations. So obviously, it's a very a topic where a lot of discussions can happen, a lot of opinions, and I don't think there's anything right or wrong. I think these are the views of different people. But if I had to answer yay or nay, I think I'm 100% yay. And I definitely support a reservation of women in the parliament, maybe in slightly a different form and shape. I mean, I agree with KK that reservation is really not helpful in that sense, but I would think women reservation in the parliament may be an exception. And I think after 62 years of the independence, after 62 years of democratic rule, if 9% is the representation of women in our legislative councils, I think it's a shame on us. Um, while some women may have progressed, if you really look at masses, I think that numbers is telling upon us, and that's the failure of, say, government, political situation, the state, whatever the names you give. I think it's really a shame on us that that 48% of the population is represented in some sense by only 9%. I think we have had leaders like Indira Gandhi. So as a country, we have had women leaders. And in spite of that, thing has not changed. We have done, as a country, some unique things like our president is a woman today, our speaker is a woman. I think these are more symbolic things, which have not had any significant impact in terms of changing the situation of women in the country. But I would think bringing women to the legislative councils would make a significant difference for simple 2-3 reasons.
But yes, like PT, I'm also for reservation. And uh, now, what is reservation? How did this come? I mean, is this a kind of an approved tool that the government has, that whenever there's an opposition, you pass a reservation? Is that what reservation is? Or has our political system evolved this as one of the instruments to, give an opportunity? Not that the day the reservation was passed, overnight the next day, you're going to have 33% of women in the political scenario. Probably when you look back, when I was just going through some material, reading some material, one of the main objectives of having this bill being, argued from so many years, and still it's a matter of debate, was because probably they thought that women could get some sensitivity in politics. Now, like many of my friends over here have said, that yes, there needs to be a merit, but that should have been the kind of list, a criteria for all those who are already leaders right now. It was not a criteria for them. Even today, there is no criteria to go there in the politics. People vote for you and you're there, whether you're a male or a female. But historically in India, culturally, power has always been attached to men. By introducing this reservation, we are probably having another profession, that is politics, for women. And I see that as another profession that women can choose. And an opportunity has been given by the government. Mind you, an opportunity, when I say an opportunity, there's a lot of other work that is going to go in getting that 33%, because it's today 9%. And I don't know how many more years we are going to evolve as a society, as a political system, to give that, to empower or to implement that opportunity right to every sector of society.